Airtightness. What is airtightness? Self-explanatory to a point. That airtightness is one of the 5 basic principles to establish passive house standards. The tighter and the better the air tightness, the better we can control it, the easier it is. The biggest way of losing energy within a house is movement of air, or uncontrolled movement of air. Every time you have a draft, you only get draft if it has an inlet and an outlet. As it drafts moves through, it will take out energy, take out heat to the outside. And also, where you get a gap, you might get a gap in between boards, brickwork, whatever it is you've got. Every gap creates an area where energy can escape. So what we do is we create air tightness, an airtight barrier. Whether it's within a retrofit or whether it's within a new build, air tightness is the same. It needs to be key part of what it is we do. There are many different membranes. There are many different ways of achieving what it is we need to do, but the processes are all basically the same. A little introduction to some materials here. This is Intello. Intello is a typical airtight membrane. The advantage we have with this is its reinforcement. It's got a reinforced mesh in here. It's really strong and hard wearing. Has 2 surfaces, a nice shiny side, which is excellent for sticking tape to. That adheres to that really well. On the rear side, it's a fibrous side. This is your dew point soft, or your potential moisture buildup. So that's to deal with that. This is the way it goes. We have a number of marks on here. The dotted line. The dotted line gives you a line to tape to. We have our secondary line here. That is your overlap. The other lines are the increments of the 100 millimeter, 4 inches, 100 mil, 10 centimeters. That gives you where to cut. Each line has a cross. So when you're cutting with our straight edge in situ, you've got a guide to go all the time. You get really square cutting with this. So with all the information there you need, it's really good for fitting, fixing, and for cutting. When it comes to fixing materials, air tightness is key. So what we look at are the fixing points, what we fix with and where we fix. When we're putting this onto a wall, I always like on the bottom layer to fix anything in this void here, potentially this line. The reason is when we get an overlap from the next piece of membrane and that's taped, it's instantly airtighted. If we've going to the edge, if you fix to that edge before that first line, again, when you tape, all your fixings will be covered by the tape and airtighted naturally in the process of fixing it. So minimum amount of fixings in the correct places really can improve the airtightness values of what you're doing. Now, when it comes to fixing, there's many different ways. Most people staple it. In fact, on the instructions that's on this particular roll, it says to use staples. Staples are really good. It's quick and easy. You can do it one-handed. Excellent. I tend to use clamp nails. 30mm clamp nails, got a wide head. The reason is because if you pull and staple, it will pull through. Every time something pulls through this, it creates a hole. That hole has to be dealt with, either with tape or overlap. If you use a clamp nail, even though it can be pulled through, it takes a lot more force to do that. So therefore, you can pull it a little bit more taut. But there are other ways of fixing. That would be down to your process that you follow and the material that you use. This is just one material. Intello, airtightness, barrier, and vapor check. What we use with that is we always use the correct tape for the correct product. Everything that we use is designed to do a job, and airtightness is one of our key things. So therefore, we make sure we do it correctly and we pay attention to detail. We have good products and we have correct tapes to tape that product. That's very important. So whatever you use, whatever material you use, always use the correct products to go along with that. This is a Tescon tape. This is an airtight tape, purposely designed for these type of materials. Tescon has been used since the Second World War. This is a tried and tested tape. We know this last 50 years. We know that because it does, as it has. So therefore, we like to use this product. Now, when it comes to tapes with airtightness, there's a couple of things to remember. One is use the correct one. Secondly is curing time. Tapes have an adhesive which cures over time. As soon as you take the backing off, that adhesion is getting stronger and stronger. So you put this on today, in an hour's time you may be able to pull it off. Tomorrow you will not get it off. You will rip it in little tiny bits because it gets stronger. So only use the correct tape with the correct product for the correct use. So that's membranes and tape, airtightness. Ensure that airtightness is done correctly and attention to detail has been shown.